Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I'm glad to be here with you guys today. This is a topic that I wanted to, talk about for a long time. But first and foremost, thank you for tuning in to my podcast today, my YouTube channel. This is where I just share my thoughts and, just like to hear different opinions about others. So please share it in the comment section if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying today. But just here for a conversation. My name is Damian Brooms. As most of you all may know, but yeah. So this is a topic that I want to talk about for a while, and this is posted all over the internet by now, so this is nothing new. I may be a little late to the party, but Shannon, Sharpe, and Skip Bayless. I think as of right now, they're probably fine in the public eye, but obviously there's a lot of tension brewing behind closed doors, especially with the, horrific injury to Damar Hamilton, I believe his name is. I'll correct it, in the comments or above the screen if I'm wrong. And long story short, Skip made a comment about the Bengals and Buffalo Bills playoff position during the time as they were trying to resuscitate Damar Hamilton on the field or while he was going to the ambulance. So the injury is fresh on everybody's minds. Nobody knows if the young man was going to make it or not. And Skip thoughts, his intrusive thoughts, one, that he thought it was going to be a great idea to post about playoff positioning and what the NFL is going to do about the game. Now, in hindsight, Damar Hamilton is doing great. I believe he actually attended the Buffalo Bills game today, if I'm not mistaken. But I saw he was healthy. He was great. He made tremendous progress. Thank you to the medical staff in Cincinnati and Buffalo for treating him so well. It was great to see him, continue to live his life, and hopefully he could be back on the football field. But he has his life, and he's young, so he has a lot of opportunity ahead of him. So now in hindsight, Skip Bayless didn't say anything wrong, but it was the timing. It was the timing in which he said it. What everybody's mind was on at that point in time was, it's the young man's going to survive. We have never seen anything like that before. Certainly me, I have never seen anything like that in all my years of watching and playing football. Seen horrific injuries. I suffered some injuries, but never seen anybody, suffer cardiac arrest during the field of play. So everybody just wonders if this man is going to survive. Skip Bayless thought it would be a great idea to voice his opinion about playoff position. It was just like, Skip, it's like, you're not wrong. Nothing that you said is wrong, but read the room. This is not the proper time. He made that post too while, they were showing him on the field. So, obviously, a lot of people were upset about that. Rightfully so. I mean, I don't think he personally said anything wrong, but it was just the timing. Everybody's emotions are high at that point. Everybody's very sensitive. People are just very emotional. And for you to be one of the only ones to think about playoff positioning, it's just very insensitive to that young man. So, everybody was very upset. All the athletes, a lot of former and current athletes are calling for his job, for him to be fired, saying that they hope they never see this man on TV again, and they just hoping Shannon Sharpe would never partner with him again. So that happened on Monday night. Tuesday morning, Shannon Sharpe did not show up for work. And I watch Undisputed every day. Not live because I go to work. I just watch the YouTube recordings or the podcast, and I watch it religiously every day. I love Skip and Shannon. I believe they're a great duo. I used to watch Skip during his First Take days. I actually don't watch First Take anymore. I just watch Undisputed because I believe Skip and Shannon is a better, debate show than what they have on First Take. But kudos to First Take. Shannon did not show up, so I was like, I wonder why didn't he show? And I thought at the moment was because, look, he probably just going to let Skip do the show by himself so he could clarify his statements. He just doesn't want to be in between that because Shannon's a former football player. something like that is going to hit him a lot differently than me as a fan or, or other spectators. And remember, his brother Sterling Sharpe suffered a career-ending neck injury where he was paralyzed for like a brief period. And thank goodness sorry about that. He regained all feeling his legs, and he's living a great life today. I still believe Sterling Sharpe was a Hall of Famer. I mean, if you look at his numbers in the short period of time, it's ridiculous in what he did, but they have their own rules on what the Hall of Fame. But if he didn't get injured, he would have definitely been in the Hall of Fame. So, of course, that moment hit Shannon a lot differently than what somebody like Skip Bayless. So it was understandable why he didn't show up. So now the Wednesday morning when Shannon showed up, it was a little weird. So I think he deserved to say his 1 minute monologue of why he didn't show up, and maybe any disagreements what he had within Skip Bayless' tweet. Skip automatically took offense to it and got defensive and just interrupted Shannon. And that was one of the last straws I saw that Shannon had. He was just getting tired of dealing with Skip Bayless nonsense. And like I said, I like Skip Bayless. I think he's a great debater. But sometimes you just have to show people respect. Now, as some of you may know, a few weeks ago, they had a very heated debate, which is not unusual, but it was about the Tom Brady topic. And Skip basically attacked Shannon personally, saying that Tom Brady is better than you, and basically your Hall of Fame, status means nothing. And it was terrible. It was terrible on Skip Bayless' part. And I've always said, why is Shannon, taking this so lightly? Why don't he just leave the show? Because, and it's not, why don't he leave the show at some point? I mean, these guys are in contractual agreement, so I think he can't just up and leave. But I'm just wondering why Shannon wouldn't just say something to Skip, maybe behind closed. Maybe he has. I really don't know. Nobody knows. Unless you're within that circle or you work at Fox Studios. But, why don't he just say something to Skip Bayless? Look, you cannot talk to me like this on television. I won't stand for that. But an interesting thought came to me. And I heard Marcellus Wiley say this. In the 50 Laws of Power, one of the things is to never overtake the master. And that, Undisputed, is Skip's Bayless show. Skip handpicked Shannon Sharpe to do that show with him. And Shannon in the past, he's always been very grateful of Skip giving him that opportunity. So even though Skip may be rude at times, Shannon just tried to show respect. And, he's from the South, so he has Southern hospitality. He tried to show kindness and gratitude towards Skip. So he probably tried not to embarrass him on TV or yell back at him on TV. And, you're still on live national television, so you try not to embarrass yourself. So he just takes some of those verbal licks from Skip and just try to push on. So with that being his show, Shannon has gained popularity throughout the years, right? And which is great because I personally never knew who Shannon Sharpe was before Undisputed. And then that's when I found out he's a Hall of Fame tight end. I looked at his clips. He's an incredible Hall of Famer, all of that. But I know Shannon from being on Undisputed, being a voice commentator, debate show co-host. Brilliant, hilarious. But I feel like there's been some hate on Skip Bayless' side as Shannon grew in popularity. And some can even argue he's more popular than Skip Bayless because athletes love him. Look at his podcast, Club Shay Shay. He has huge guests on it and is doing incredible numbers. Skip Bayless' podcast is doing terrible. It's not interesting at all. So I think this beef has been, brewing for a while. Jealousy on Skip Bayless' part. And then you can even see on the show, Shannon moves with a little oomph now because he gained some popularity. And rightfully so. He's moved a little oomph now. And it's like sometimes he just try to, overtake Skip Bayless at points. And I think Skip wants to, he be rude sometimes because that's his way of, putting his foot down like, this is my show. You need to know whose show you're on. And because of that, I don't think anybody's job is in, jeopardy. I think Skip Bayless is going to be around for a long time. I remember when Skip was first introducing the show. I believe, I could be wrong, the person who offered this show to Skip Bayless was somebody at ESPN, a longtime friend that Skip knew. So he came to the opportunity by Skip first, and then Skip was able to just, do what he wanted from there. So Skip knows a lot of big people. He's not going to go anywhere. And, Shannon, I think he's fine also. I think the show's doing extremely well, so they just don't want to break anybody up at this point. But I do think this may be Shannon's last year on that show, especially if Skip continues to be rude, and just having some, pointless verbal attacks towards Shannon Sharpe. I think this will be his last year on his show, and Shannon will just venture off into something else. He's a household name. He could do whatever he wants, and people will love him. He can go on any other network. He could probably go on and get his own show at another network. Shannon can do whatever he wants, and I think he'll be fine. And Skip Bayless will be fine also. Skip has accumulated a lot of wealth over the years. He's in retirement age. He's just doing this because he loves it or for the fun of it. But as far as who's right and who's wrong, obviously I think Skip Bayless is in the wrong because, first of all, I just think there was no reason to be rude to somebody on television, especially if they're just debating about sports. So because you're feeling threatened by Shannon, you have to attack him personally. So actually, if I'm wrong, remember that episode when Shannon Sharpe got a Skip Bayless face? I think that's where the beef started to brew from there. I literally just forgot about it. It just came in my head. I was watching that live, and I thought it was funny, but Skip Bayless, go back and watch it. Skip did not think that was funny at all. He was just, in disgust and just thinking, why would this man come on here? And to be honest, if Skip came on with a Shannon Sharpe face, my goodness gracious, people would have been calling for his job. And Fox probably would have had to let him go because they would have said he's racist. That's a racial gesture. They would have just came at him. So, and I think it started from there. Skip probably took that very personal. He took that highly offensive. So, I think it started from there, and then, either party and just couldn't let that go. So, back to who's right and who's wrong. I think Skip is wrong. You just don't attack somebody personally just because you disagree with them. And that actually just goes back to one of the books that I said I read for the year. Think again. If you're having a conversation with somebody, just hear out and listen to them and don't attack them personally. Now, I know this is all for the sake of entertainment, but I do think everything can be done in an ethical manner. And I just admire Shannon's professionalism of how he handling these situations. And actually watching him, it just makes me want to be an even better person, a man, and a communicator. He's able to hold his composure while somebody is just attacking him verbally. And quite frankly, he probably feels embarrassed. And he's just like, I'm a better man than him. I'm a bigger man than him. He could say what he wants, but I'm not going to let him throw me off my game. And I just love that composure that he showcased in front of everyone. And especially, people in Shannon and I community, at least, let me say at least, in our community, I'll go as far as that. Violence has been something that, that you showboat. You know what I mean? So, say if somebody say something about your girl, you're supposed to inflict violence on the person that said something. If somebody says something about you or call you out your name, you're supposed to inflict violence on them. And I think Shannon's at the point where he showcased that you don't have to physically attack somebody to get, you just don't have to physically attack somebody to get across your point. Sometimes it just pays to be the bigger person, and that's something that I'm currently learning also. Listen, I am a person that's an eye for an eye. I have people around me say, hey, you have to be the bigger person, apologize first. I struggle with that because I don't do anything to anybody. But if I feel like I'm being attacked first, I'm not going to be the one to forgive you first or say apologize first or whatever, because I just don't think that's right. So that's something I'm working on. But seeing Shannon Sharpe just display that it's like, okay, he's at where he's at today because he's able to control his emotions and not let anybody get underneath his skin. So that's something, I said I have to work on, and I know other people have to work on that also. So Skip Bayless, he just reminds me of just an immature man who just, I don't know, whenever he feels threatened, he just has to go at you personally. And I think Shannon Sharpe doesn't deserve that. And Shannon Sharpe in the wrong also. It's hard for me to point out what wrong Shannon did. If you guys want to go in the comments of what he did wrong and what he could have done better, then yeah, I'm down to have a discussion about it and hear you guys' thoughts. But being attacked personally, there's no room for that. And I have never heard Shannon done that to Skip Bayless before. But again, I just think this is a Skip Bayless show. And he sees Shannon, going up the ranks, gaining popularity. He's starting to feel threatened. And he just want to put his foot down and remind Shannon of whose show it is. And I think there's going to be some great consequences for Skip Bayless for doing that. You're going to lose Shannon. I predict he's going to lose Shannon this year. Shannon might get his own show, his own television show at another network or maybe within the same network. And Skip Bayless is just going to have to, try to find another partner. I don't know. I'm thinking that this stemmed from his days at ESPN. Now, I like Skip Bayless. I watched him at ESPN First Take. I used to watch that show every day. Him and Stephen A. Smith going at it. It was hilarious. And once he left there, I followed him to Undisputed. Now, I heard Stephen A. say this before. Skip gave him a shot. And then as Stephen A. started to gain popularity, Skip felt threatened. And then, that's when he went to Fox. So now I think he just wanted to start over, and maybe he sees the same thing happening again, and he's just exploding like, I will not let this happen again, and just, attacking Shannon Sharpe. So I hope Skip Bayless just calm down. I mean, it seems like he hasn't even learned his lesson, and he's just a stubborn old man that just think he's right. Because while Shannon was giving his monologue, he said he stand by his comments, and I don't even think he apologized. I don't think he even apologized publicly to Shannon Sharpe for, attacking him personally during the Tom Brady topic, or even apologize to Damar Hamlin and the rest of the sports community about selfishly thinking about playoff positioning. I learned, in order to be a man, you have to learn to recognize your wrongs and apologize. So if I'm in the wrong, I will apologize. And I think Skip Bayless needs to just understand that it's not hard. It's free. It's free to just apologize, to say you were wrong and move on. So I don't know what he's standing on or what he think he was standing on by saying I meant what I say about the Buffalo Bills situation, Damar Hamlin. I don't know what he's standing on, because everybody was upset for a reason. And I think he wasn't willing to listen to the other side of the story. And he just, want to be stubborn and think he was right. But anyway, I just think it's very unfortunate of how Undisputed is going down. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, before this year, I'll say before the ending of last year, they were great, man. Had me cracking up each and every day. I thought they were going to be on TV for years to come. They had a great chemistry. They still have a great chemistry. They have a great chemistry with each other. And I personally think it's the best debate show on television right now. Absolutely, 100%. There is no show that gives you as much entertainment and makes you laugh as much as Skip and Shannon. But unfortunately, because of recent arguments, personal attacks, and I think the Damar Hamlin situation, that was a nail in the coffin. Shannon's going to have to, go off, detach himself from Skip. And I honestly do think it's hard for Shannon, because go back, he expresses a lot of gratitude towards Skip because of the situation he's in. Skip gave him that platform. Skip put him on the show. And, rightfully so, show appreciation. Which, Shannon has done. So, and I can understand that too. Is like somebody has put me in a great position, right? They gave you the opportunity to. They gave you the opportunity to showcase your skills and to excel, and which you have taken the opportunity and ran with it. But now that same person who has given you the opportunity is starting to disrespect you. What do you do? And I think that was a question in Shannon Sharpe's head for a long time. Like, what do I do? And I think he's just starting to figure out the answers. Like, look, I thank you for the opportunity, but it's time for me to move on. So right now, as of right now, they're pretty good. They just did a couple of shows, and they look like nothing has happened. So hey, maybe Shannon just moved on from the situation. But knowing Skip Bayless and his past, at some point they're gonna have another heated discussion, and Skip is just gonna go off again. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on the situation. It's unfortunate, but I think they're going to be going after this year. What do you guys think? This is a little different from other topics that I talk about, but I think you're just going to see a lot of random things that I just wanted to speak on, especially sports. I'm a big sports guy, so if anything sports related comes on, I'll most likely talk about it. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, later.